So they're standing there staring at all of these cameras that they can't afford.
Right.
And with these kids wearing clothes that I had no idea I was going to have to buy for these family pictures. Mm-hmm. Now, the thing that I asked earlier, what does it mean to be a guy?
What does it mean?
Where does our earliest cognition, is that a word? Mm-hmm. Cognition. See, I went to school. I be reading. Cognition, that's the thing start the car, right?
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Cognition. No. I know it got something to do with the brain.
Right.
So your earliest memories of what patterns us as guys.
Right.
Where do those thoughts, where do those seeds get planted?
I would say any environment that you were exposed to as a young person, some of the things that were communicated to all of us, verbal and nonverbal. A lot of people don't understand actions speak louder than words. So it was not a lot of, it wasn't just only mentoring saying, hey, this is what you need to do. There's a lot of observation goes on that a lot of people don't know how to communicate verbally. So I'll give you an example. If a kid sees his dad get up every morning and go to work, after a while, that kid's going to say, hey, he's going somewhere every day. I want to know where he's going. And then after a while, somebody tell him where he's going. Well, I want to do that because I see it. Dad looks like me, and that's where I want to go.
Right.
If you take that image outside of the guy, out of the child's point of view, now you're basically shooting in the dark. You don't have an image to go off of. So where does manhood imprint itself in the minds of children? If they don't see it, they make it up as they go, or they have to believe what somebody else told them about it. So, and this is some of the things that I see with children all the time.
Right.
A lot of the kids hear about manhood through the eyes of people who are not men. All right, and I'm gonna be very blunt about this.
Now, when you say people that are not men, there is a quantifying factor that goes with that, and you will quantify. Now, first, please continue by people who are not men. Quantify what, in your opinion, a man is?
That is, a man is a human being who was assigned with masculinity, manhood, a person that was biologically assigned as a boy, regardless of what we are discussing about sociologically about what's the right thing about assignments and all of this stuff, right? Who was given the biological tools of a male,
right?
Who was given the same identity inside that wants to identify as a male,
right?
Who's been surrounded by examples of men growing up and has actually been mentored and taught, not only through words, but by mentorship and action,
right?
About what a man is. And earlier we were talking about what is a man. Man is literally an assignment, right? Man is an assignment for one half of the human species. We have male and female. We have man and woman. And obviously, if men did not have a specific role in society, there would be no such thing as man and woman. We're all here to do a certain thing.
Right.
However, especially just across the board, we don't know what each household is teaching every child.
Right.
Right. So now we're at not necessarily the mercy, I don't like that word, but we are subjected to whatever everyone else is being taught, and you have no control over that, right? So who is in control of determining what is a man? It depends on what is believed or known inside of that household. And sometimes it's not even what's believed, it's what just been known. If no one in that household has been taught about what manhood is, you have a lot of people in that household that is going to make it up as they go. And then the child is actually going to take that information and put it into the real world without even knowing if it's really true or false. It's just out there doing the research. And I like to clarify what I was talking about, people who are not men. Some of us grew up with not seeing the man inside of the household, right? So that may have been a mother, a sister, a sibling who was around our same age, who was not a man yet,
right,
but was trying to be the man in the household.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
And now, two things that I think is interesting. Men find ourselves oftentimes so, I don't want to say programmed, I say conditioned, that we project what I would consider feminine. We project feminine assessments onto one another.
Of course.
When you said what a man is, and I said quantified, the first thing you said was a human being. Caught me off guard.
Yes.
I was looking for something about baseball or something critical about you know our our brute strength, right? The estrogen kind of thing, the hormones, the you know, all of that. So testosterone, right?
Protect, provide, and die.
Right. That's now the other part is what you were just speaking of when you said that we are in the household, we are providing, we are what we bring to the collective of the family. A lot of men believe that the only thing that they are responsible for or should be responsible for is the financial part of helping a home. Now, I have seen, and maybe if I'm wrong, you can please correct me, that a lot of times men will suffer from depression.
Of course.
Men will suffer from thoughts of suicide. They will engage in reckless and high risk behavior.
Of course.
To cope with not being a man when it comes to finances. So many contradictions. Bring home the bacon. Kind of thing. I have to be honest. I have accepted that as a male role. I am a person who works hard, diligently. Well, you know, I work. I don't know if it's hard. I ain't even gonna really lie.
I be leaving the house
about hard work. I be leaving the house.
And I come back with money.
Sometimes I be leaving the house. Sometimes I be leaving the house because, you know, I do a lot of writing for television. I've done some advertising things, and a lot of that I do in my underwear from a laptop. So the provide thing is the money going to the bank. And my wife can touch it whenever she wants to. So that is how I've accepted that, you know, if somebody break in the house, I won't trouble her with getting up and killing them. I'll do that myself. So those are things. The male role, I have been willing and to a degree proud to step in to those shoes because those were the models that I saw. How are those images, how are those responsibilities being perverted and misconstrued to cause damage to me?
Well, one thing that has helped me and the other people that are trying to study this out, because I'm a firm believer that none of us have figured it all out, but some of us are figuring it out, right? One thing I had to do to eliminate a lot of confusion is find out the history of manhood in this country under specifically the United States. Right. When it comes down to the United States, we have to look at this United States, or whatever we call the United States, was born and bred in warfare. We have a war culture. So in war culture, what are the men supposed to do? You're supposed to protect the home and die if you need to for the honor. Right. So, and what's the difference between a soldier and a human being? The human being has a choice. The soldier does not. Based off what I've been seeing. If you're in warfare, it's about survival. Humanity is about the life's journey. Now, but if you're in war culture, and when I say war culture, just in case some people don't understand, when the first colonies were established in the United States, people were not coming here just to hold hands and sing. They were coming here to conquer and get land. And everybody who came with them knew that, hey, we were coming here not only to establish ourselves, but we had to be prepared to wipe out any other people that were in our way. So guess what? If people were leaving England or Europe, France, all these other places to look for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that means people didn't have it. So that means the men who were coming over were looking for something they didn't have. What are people willing to do for life, living in the pursuit of happiness? Probably still kill and destroy.
Right.
So that manhood was about, hey, we need you to sacrifice and provide only. So if we are honest about the war culture of the United States, the history of it, and I'm not talking about the indigenous people here, I'm just talking about who we pay taxes to now.
Right.
What is the jurisdiction? What is this territory called? That's the culture that we're living in. Until we have an honest conversation about this was based off warfare and labor.
Right.
Men go to war and men go to work. So in other nations and in other populations on planet Earth, some men, they provide in so many different ways.